the Z28. I'm really excited about this pickup. I think I got a crazy deal on it, so I'm hella excited right now. But it's going to be a lot of work, so it is what it is. I guess it's just more episodes that you guys are going to have to bear through. So, yeah. Here it is. Got all of it for $300. Here's another part that I got. So we're going to send it. Back to daily, regular, scheduled programming. Last episode, we got the thing running again. It was kind of running a little bit hot, but I decided not to drive it because the brake pedal felt a little squishy. So I did a little bit of homework and I realized or learned that that's normal. The car sat, it didn't run for so long. That was just getting the air out of the brake booster, I believe. So we're going to send it. But before we do that, the car was running a little hot. So I got a coolant filler neck because my 3-core radiator, the cap comes off at the angle. So I got that so that I can properly fill the radiator and let it burp once the thermostat opens, and obviously, getting all the bubbles out for sure. Yeah. So we'll get this thing burped, and then after that, we'll be sending it for a drive. So I can send it and then put it back on jack stands. Got that thing on. It's not perfectly straight, nor is it full for the moment, but we're going to run it tomorrow. We're going to put some more in there, and then we'll go ahead and burp the coolant tomorrow. I don't know if we'll drive it, but we'll see. While the car was idling this time, I did put it in gear, both reverse and drive. The brakes are definitely a little squishy because it creeped while in reverse. And after it creeped in reverse, I just held it a little bit firmer to put it in drive. And it definitely moved both ways, so that's a huge positive. So I know for sure that it's gonna drive. I just didn't want to send it out because it's crooked as hell in my garage, so I'm gonna use the dollies that I have to straighten it out before I actually take it for a drive. But that might be tomorrow now. I need to mess with these brakes. I just really don't want to.
That's too damn bad!
Just something I'm gonna have to do. I'm just gonna have to suck it up and do it if I really want to drive this thing, and I do. So yeah, let's get this buttoned up. Finito. Back together. Next up, we get these brakes bled completely, and then we go for a drive. Before we show the main part that I got that I'm very excited about, there's another part that I got that I'm less excited about, but it's still pretty big since the car didn't come with one. I'm not gonna keep you guys hostage for this one. We got a exhaust system for the turd. So the car didn't come with this stuff. It's the stock system pretty much from the cat back, and we got it for dirt cheap for $30. And we got it so cheap because There's a few pinhole size holes on it on a couple of places, and then also this 90 here was cut. He gave me a little 90 that I can use, but I don't know if I will because I don't know. It seems like it's a lot to fill, but it should definitely work either way. I'm very excited about that, but it's not going to go on until after we get on the other part that's sitting right over there. I know you guys want to see it. I'll show you guys that in a second. All right, got the car back on the ground. We lifted it up, put it on jack stands, and bled the brakes again. Hopefully this is the last time. Turns out I'm glad I was cautious about the brakes because the T at the rear, as well as where it met the hard line, were both leaking once the pedal was pushed down and there was pressure through the brake system. So yeah, glad I was cautious about that and that I didn't send it because, I don't know, it probably would have been fine, but yeah, it was definitely leaking brake fluid. So got that patched up now. I'm not really sure how those ended up loose. I'm pretty sure I tightened them down, but I guess I just didn't tighten it down enough. But long story this long, it's good to go now. Also, while I had it up in the air, I put it on the dollies in the rear and straightened it back up. So we should be good to go as far as backing out of the garage. Yeah, so we're getting ready to send it now. We just need to turn it back on, let it warm up, and then we're sending it. I'll check back in a second.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Y'all are forcing me into the YouTuber thing.
Whoop-de-doo.
If you're enjoying the video series of the Camaro Z28, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, so go ahead and knock that out. We'll get back to the video. This thing runs like shit. I got a misfire. And it's not shifting gear. It's staying in first. I don't know if you can hear the popping. This thing runs like absolute shit. Hope I get this thing in the garage without fucking breaking everything. Looks like I left a trail. Oh shit. I don't know if that's gear oil. All right, so drive down, mission complete, sort of. It wasn't really a pleasant experience, but it's done. Glad to see what the car for the most part felt like as far as the brakes and the steering inputs and all that. I'm kind of glad that the power steering works as well because I never did anything with it, so it's kind of just working based off of how it was going to work always. Yeah, glad the brakes issues resolved as well. So yeah, overall it was a success, although the experience was not very pleasant. So whatever. It's just really proof that automatic transmissions suck, which leads me to the next point. Here it is. It's a 5-speed out of an 85 Z28. I have pretty much everything I need except for the pedals and a clutch and a flywheel, which I wanted to get those new anyway. So pretty much squared away. I already checked all the gears. All the gears definitely work. Nothing's grinding crazy, and that's just from turning it by hand. But yeah, so it should be good. So yeah, now that we have the 5-speed trans, for sure going to be throwing that in. This is going to be a long-term project, obviously, but I'm very excited to have been able to pick that up. I've been honestly looking since I got the car, but I've never seen one come up. And so I finally found an ad where the guy mentioned that he dropped the trans to do a clutch job, but for whatever reason, he wasn't going to complete that job, so he was going to sell the car. He had it for $2,000, which is kind of crazy. But I just messaged the guy on some random. I was like, hey, if you are down to part with the transmission and the swap gear, I'll happily come and pick that up. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So Yeah, got all of it for $300. So I feel like that's a really, really good deal for a good trans and pretty much all the swap stuff that I need. All right, and so that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and all that YouTuber stuff. Not sure what we're doing for the next episode. The car was leaking some mysterious fluid, although that could have been just residue coolant because my overflow completely failed right before the first drive. So it could have just been that, to be honest. That's probably what it was. So not too worried about it. After we get the automatic trans out, we're going to be replacing the oil pan gasket and the rear main seal as we plan to do initially anyway. So lots of problems being solved by that automatic trans, and the main one being that it'll be actually a cool car once it's manual, and I'll be able to actually have a decent driving experience because I'll be the one controlling the pedals. And I mean, I'll be the one controlling the gears. So definitely tune in for the next episode. More exciting stuff's going to go down to make sure this thing is more reliable. It was not running very well. But yeah, peace.